Let me guess, you are working 60-hour weeks, your team keeps asking you the same questions over and over, and the moment you step away, everything just falls apart. Here's the truth. Your business isn't ready to grow until you have this one thing in place. The difference between overwhelmed founders and CEOs who actually take vacations, it's not your skill or your talent, it's your system. Hey there, if we haven't met yet, I'm Yvonne Heimann, aka Evie from Ask Evie. And as a German immigrant, systems and processes are kind of in my DNA. After years of helping digital entrepreneurs build businesses that actually work without them, I've seen firsthand what separates those who stay stuck in their founder hamster wheel from those who scale with ease. And I can tell you, it comes down to one single critical document that most business owners either completely avoid creating or do wrong. Look, you're watching this because something in your business isn't working the way you want it to. Maybe you are stuck doing everything yourself. Maybe you are frustrated that your team can't seem to get things right. Or you're desperate to take a vacation without your phone blowing up. The solution isn't hiring more people or working longer hours. It's understanding the power of SOPs, standard operating procedures, and implementing them correctly. In this video, I'm going to show you what an SOP actually is, that you already have standard operating procedures, even if they're just stuck in your head, why SOPs are vital to transform you from a founder to a CEO, and how SOPs enable you to really step away from your business. What makes for a good SOP? So, when you talk about not giving too much information, that's one piece. Structuring is the other piece, meaning we want information to easily be digestible, but also have the perceived work kind of like visible in the document. I'll explain what I mean by that. Let's go through how we structure an efficient SOP, and I'll dive into the specifics. We always need to assume that the person that is reading the standard operating procedure and working their way through has no clue. I always say, just think about it as if you are talking to a 3-year-old. So I don't assume that they know how to see the history of a document automatically. Yes, the team gets ClickUp training, but I just can't assume. It's so simple to just put that comment in there. Hey, by the way, if you are looking for an older version, this is where you find it. We also mention additional resources. So if you watch one of my videos on YouTube, how we handle and sort and collect standard operating procedures in a list view too, this is where this link is going, so it's easily accessible. We need to know who is actually doing this thing. If something doesn't go as planned, who do I need to talk to? And that's where we have a manager, meaning generally this probably would be in many positions Libby, because she knows how everything in my business runs. She is managing the business as well as me. That doesn't mean though that she is necessarily the process expert. As I am building all of these processes, I'm deep in the ground, I'm deep into the optimization of it. I would be more of the process expert than her. What tools are being used? That allows your team members to make sure they have access to, in this case, to run this go high level. Actually, that's the process we're going to use as an example. We're going to need go high level, we're going to need Canva, we're going to need ClickUp, those kind of things. And then note down when you have updated it last, so that we have that bulk information right in the beginning. Cool, awesome. If something goes south, I know where to go and who to talk to. Now, a efficient, well-documented standard operating procedure has multiple parts to it. One is the goal. If your team doesn't know what the end goal is, what is that destination, why do I care? This is how you bring people in. This is how you determine they know exactly what the destination is. And you also can bring a little bit of this story in it, of this commitment to a common goal. What is the expected outcome? So where are we going and what's the expected outcome? The expected outcome is I'm getting to the destination with my car still having gas in the tank. Make sense? What do I need specifically to get this process done? This is where assets comes into place. You also want to really make sure that they know any automations that is connected to this process. And there is a reason why automations is before the actual process, because if somebody updates the process, you want to tell your team that if something changes in the process, they can update the standard operating procedure. They should keep their work and their standard operating procedures updated accordingly. They shouldn't be calling you and be like, hey, something changed here. Can we update this? No, give them the power to update it, but also give them the information that, hey, this process is connected to automations. Make sure you are not breaking the automations when you update the process. And then we are coming into the process itself. Now, there is a lot of conversation going on in the productivity space, and especially with ClickUp consultants, on how to structure the process piece. Some experts talk about you want to have a one-page standard operating procedure. We have tested it. We have tested it with multiple different people that are using these, and this one has been the most used and the less troublesome. So what I mean by that is we have in the past used toggle down, meaning when we use in ClickUp documents the toggle menu, where you just see the step what you need to do and you toggle it open with what you actually click here, do this, do there. Now, we have interviewed our clients from major agencies, solopreneurs, to National Sports Association. How are you perceiving this? What works for you? What doesn't work for you? And I really dug deep with them why they like certain formats and don't like other formats. And one of the biggest lessons I had is with the toggle menu, especially people with ADHD will perceive the work to be like, oh yeah, I can get this done in 5 minutes. That's a problem. Because chances are this process doesn't just take 5 minutes, but because they only see a list this short because you got the toggle menus, they perceive this to be not a big job. Oh yeah, I can just squish that in somewhere. That's not a good thing. They need to understand and visually see the timeline of what this takes, which is why we really reframed from using the toggle menu to this visual. These are the different steps, and this is how you do this. Make sure in a well-documented standard operating procedures, you also warn your team with common errors. Think of it as your FAQs on your website. What are the common mistakes that happen in this process? Or what do you do when an error comes up? How? And give them a way to really quality control their work. So now we have the perfect template right in here to create a standard operating procedure that is simple, easily to view across border, and to also understand the work that is happening. Now, did you catch what I said there in our webinar recording? SOPs aren't just boring documents. They're a bridge that takes you from doing everything yourself to leading a team that can execute your vision without you. And here's what happens when you get this right. First, you gain your time back. You are not losing hours every single week for answering the same questions or fixing the same mistakes in your team. Secondary, your team gains confidence. When people know exactly what success looks like, they stop hesitating and start taking ownership. And third, this is a big one, your business can actually grow beyond just you because systems scale in a way that individual effort never will. Now I know what you're thinking. Evie, creating SOPs takes a lot of work. I barely have time to breathe as it is. I get it. I use that excuse too, more than I'd like to admit. Even Libby, my right-hand wing woman in my business, will tell you how often she's had to remind me to document our process. But here's the truth. The time you spend creating standard operating procedures is an investment that pays off exponentially. Every minute you spend documenting a process now saves you hours of repetition, confusion, and fighting fires later on. It's the difference between working in your business and finally working on your business and becoming the CEO you were meant to be. Drop a comment below and tell me what process you are going to document first. Let's hold each other accountable. I'm in there with you. And if you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss part 2, where we dive deep into the 3-step framework of creating SOPs that your team will actually use. Yes, you were the first problem getting it out of your head and onto an SOP. You also need your team to actually use it, and that's what I'm going to talk about in the next video in this series. So remember, your business deserves to run smoothly, whether you are on the desk or on the beach somewhere else. SOPs are that ticket to your freedom. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep building systems, and I'll see you soon.